Welcome to Spiritual Sauce, the podcast where we talk to spirit and invite you to join the conversation. We are your
Yes.
hosts,
Valerie Medina.
and Christine Boschen. This is a reaction video to a session in which Christine channels and Valerie asks questions. You can find the original recording and associated reaction videos in the playlist Christine's First Channeling Session. This is an episode in which we are reacting to the question, what role does love and compassion play in the human experience?
I had written down, what role does love and compassion play?
Okay.
Oh, and I wanted you, I think I wanted to respond around that time. And I wanted to ask you, Christine, please explain the guide's answers.
Okay.
'Cause-
Shall we listen to this clip then?
yeah.
Okay. All right.
Well, I had written down a note to myself. I don't see the answer. I listened to this several times.
Yeah.
It's very subtle and not direct.
And this is
So,
another one. I guess I'll preface this by saying I was thinking about this one today. This is another one where they pushed on us because we asked a question that we were assuming would have an answer that relates to like how I relate to you, Valerie, or how you relate to me, or how we relate to other people. But then they took us into the individual, which was like a real head turner. And it was another one of those like stretching our current way of seeing things out past the horizon a little bit, like out past what we could imagine or expect. And I think that's part of the issue here with this channeled response. So, shall we listen?
yes.
Okay, so your question. So when we put together this video, we've got the question that Valerie asked, so you can visually go back to that as you're listening to the answer that Christine channeled, just to help because
Yeah.
yeah,
And
to
I
keep
love
us
that you
grounded.
did that.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
to keep us
Thank you.
grounded there. Yeah, sure. All right, here we go.
Now, what role does love and compassion play in the human experience?
Finding your way to your heart is a simple practice of being alone and lonely and surrendering to a higher light in your darkest moments in time.
I'm going to pause it there for a moment. So you asked about compassion, and then they took us to finding your way to your heart.
Right.
So maybe part of what they're saying is compassion is a few stages ahead. Let's start with finding your way to your heart. So
Right.
maybe they're saying compassion is an important part of it, but there's a little bit more that we want to talk about because it all fits together.
Yes. And when you say finding your way to your heart, I go to self-love. And
Self-love.
yes.
Yes,
And so to me, that is the beginning of all love,
I think it
self-love.
is. Self-love. It really is. It's the beginning of all love. But then the other thing that they're saying is your darkest, loneliest moments are the starting point.
Yes. Because isn't it, I mean, if we say our darkest, loneliest moments, isn't that the equation of grief at its us at our deepest level? Grief is a way of just tearing us up, breaking us apart.
Breaks us apart.
Yeah,
Yes.
breaks us open.
Both of those things, all of it at once. So
Yeah.
that's so you asked compassion, which is about connection. And they went,
Yes.
wait, before we can talk about connection, we have to talk about loneliness
Right. Yeah.
and how important it is. So let's keep listening.
Okay.
We're going to let it be that simple answer for now and allow you to feel into the wonderment of that. That somehow your grief, somehow your darkest moments, somehow your most terrible of terrible places are portals, entry points of light and healing that connect you to that thread and that undercurrent of love, which is the universal language, the universal substance, the universal connective tissue and energy of all that is.
Okay. So we're inching a little bit closer to compassion, which is a connection
Right.
experience. So
Right.
they're saying first you have to feel like crap. Like you have to feel the worst of the worst that you've ever felt.
Oh, and isn't that because we're human beings and we feel things through dichotomy, right? We've
Yeah,
got
so
to experience the low to experience to know what the high is.
you have to experience the low to experience the high, and you have to feel completely and utterly alone before you can feel absolutely and completely connected.
Exactly.
Ah!
Oh my God, they're so
So,
smart.
so it's like, oh, okay. They're really taking us on a journey here.
Yeah.
Um, okay. So, but I think that that's really encouraging all at the same time
Yeah.
that you'll never really be not okay because when you're really the most not okay is when you're the most like opening that doorway to the most okayness and the okayness that always is. So,
Yes.
ready for the rest of this?
That's like,
Yeah.
and in a way, that's like saying we are always here for you.
Yes, yeah. And I think that's where they're headed with this next. Let's see if that's
The
where they take.
collective we,
Though collective,
right?
we were always here for you. Are we ready? Keep going.
Yes.
And so it is through your darkest moments in time that you are snapped out of your hypnotic forgetting. And for it is ironic that, Valerie, you practice hypnosis as a way to remember, because we would say that the hypnotic state that you help people achieve is more of the true awake, alive awareness and beingness than is the day-to-day zombie behavior of walking through life forgetting.
Do you have something
Can
to
we?
say about that?
Yes, I do. Of course. So you notice how they say you practice hypnosis, you learned hypnosis, practice hypnosis in order to remember.
Yeah.
What happened to me when I began hypnosis training? I began channeling. The way to channeling is the way of channeling is to remember who you are,
Mm,
to connect with all there is and all there is on the other side, all who are the other side, the people who support us, the spirit, all 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 beings of light that support us, right? So I started this hypnosis training and began to remember who I am.
mm.
And I began to communicate in the way that I know how to communicate, and that is with the help of them.
You're
So,
never really alone. And yet that
no,
so you turned on the internal television, right? Like you
exactly, exactly. I suddenly am, suddenly I feel part of the collective. I feel connected to other human beings in a way that I did not feel before.
Mm.
Knowing that deep inside, I, I sort of know who they are. You know what I mean? I sort of know this bigger thing that you and I are love and are meant to love. And
So we're
so,
we're a little bit closer to answering the question of what role does love and compassion play in the human experience?
yes, they're inching us forward.
They're inching us closer. So
Yeah.
part of that also is you you recognized that you needed to do this SEH training, and that was a very big investment of time and resources to do
Yes.
that.
Yes.
And so there's also a like, what role does love and compassion play in the human experience? Well, it requires work. It requires sacrifice. It requires focus. It requires practice. I'm getting that too. Like they're taking us into your SEH practice here. They're talking about that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Shall we keep going?
Yes.
Okay.
Which is like
Yes.
life itself hypnotizes you out of remembering or being or truly just being, really. And so these moments of time that are despairing, despairful, did we just make up a new word in the English language? We're trying to help Christine create an adjective. Times that are of this certain flavor of despair are windows and portals into the remembering of the all that is, of the love and the compassion that you mentioned. Compassion is an aspect of love. which speaks to
Yes.
connection and being able to recognize the other in oneself in the other.
You were just talking about that, recognizing the other, and that
Mm-hmm.
we are all of love, and so it's like there are parts of you that are parts of me that are parts of you, something like that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Oftentimes when I talk to people, they share something with me. I realize I connect with that fear, but now I'm starting to see myself not as better or different, but rather as more human, just as human. I see their humanness
Mm,
when
yeah,
they express like say they express a negativity about another person and they gossip about another person.
yeah.
I kind of see it from the point of view as, oh, I wonder what what you are fearing about yourself. I mean, I really I'm starting to feel um an understanding of the human nature more, and I see myself in that, and I remember who I am, and
So
I
I'm
see myself in them.
So you see yourself in them. So we got you to
Yeah.
compassion. I'm going to take us to the very beginning of that recording so we can listen to where they started us because it connects
Okay.
back.
Now, what role does love and compassion play in the human experience?
Finding your way to your heart is a simple practice of being alone and lonely and surrendering to a higher light in your darkest moments in time.
So you're able to have that compassion, that recognition of humanity of a person who's behaving in a moment where we could say they're behaving badly. Like that
Mm-hmm.
you're
Mm-hmm.
seeing something they're doing that you could give that judgment to it, right? But the
Mm-hmm.
fact that you went through this process of being lonely and going through the portal to connect with your higher self brings you to that place of compassion where you're not trying to recognize their humanity or to have compassion for them. You just are.
Yes. Yes. And I'm a different, I feel like I feel like I'm a whole new person because of it.
Yeah. But then
I'm a,
also more yourself, right? You're a whole new person, but you're
oh
more
yeah,
authentically
but
yourself.
yeah, yeah. I'm feeling, I'm definitely feeling a different way. Yeah. Less judgy, definitely.
Me too lately, less
And,
judgy.
and also like, hmm, just kind of in an observant state of, hmm, that's interesting to notice. Ah, I can relate to that. Or in my
Right.
past, it sometimes I get a little bit sad about the past, some things I've said to people, the way I've acted, the way I've been. And then I think to myself, well, that's my foundation. You
Uh-huh.
know, that's where I've come from, not where I am. So, but I feel a little sad for that old Valerie that didn't, that acted mean or
Yeah.
talked badly about other people or judged other people.
Yeah.
But I didn't, but then I think to myself, well, I'm here now. I have to have compassion for her,
Well, and then also
right?
like, and I have, yes, you have to have compassion for her. I, and I'm just relating to like the times that I still feel bad about or sad about, like when I was mean to people or when I was whatever, all those different things that I am either embarrassed about or feel regretful. But that's also part of compassion because your sadness about it, my sadness about it, right? That's also part of compassion. It's like
Oh, I didn't
it's
think of it
like
that way.
it's like an apology that you wish you could give, right? And if you ever saw that person again, then you could. And to give and receive apologies, you know, like the act of apologizing, the act of forgiving, those are also really important aspects of compassion.
Yeah.
then love.
Yeah.
It's all very circular. This
And
whole we we had these linear questions for them, and it's all actually very circular.
uh-huh. Yeah. That's that. Yeah, because we are speaking a different language, aren't we? In a sense. We're using the same words, but um they're using a different set of boundaries, I guess.
Yeah, they're in a different dimension, quite literally.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah.
So how they're
And
using our language to communicate with us is different. And so in a sense we have to meet them halfway, right?
they're pulling us upward in that kind of a
We
way.
have to, yeah, we have to
Yeah.
be open and go, okay, how shall we interpret that?
And
And
it's a little uncomfortable, but
uh-huh.
being able to reflect on it is helpful, right? And even being able to talk about it is really fun and helpful.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Well, what do you think? Is this a night? Have we called it a night?
It is. I'm feeling a little emotional.
Yeah,
Yeah, because I think I feel so much love.
that's amazing and wonderful.
Yeah, it is amazing and wonderful. I don't know if it's because I'm, fasted or
Could be part of that. You're clearing
it
out,
could be
right?
part of it. But I definitely, so there's been twice that I've experienced this love bombing by them.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the first time was my second hypnosis session where I explained that's why I said, this is what I want to do with my life.
Hmm.
And the other one is when a couple of weeks ago, did I tell you that I was listening to a song and I suddenly felt the song was meant for me and I was singing it to myself. Did I tell you about that?
Yeah, you did. You did. So you
And
were
so,
listening to a song and the song was for you.
yeah, and I was singing it to myself and I was really meaning it. I was really singing it to myself and thinking of self-love and loving myself. And
Yeah.
it was an incredible breakthrough
Yeah.
because I suddenly understood just for that moment, just for that song, what loving myself meant. And it felt like total acceptance, compassion, all these things. And I got chills all over my body and I felt a sense of acceptance and love. And just like that time that I was in the hypnosis session and I heard from them and I felt that love from them, it was just like that. And so this is another time where I'm feeling like I'm connecting with them through your channel, through the channel that they brought in, through the words that they brought in, and us then talking about it
Yeah.
and now trying to figure it out. Well, I feel I feel a lot of love for them.
You're channeling right now to a certain degree, aren't you?
Yeah, I think I
Your
am.
channel is open.
Yeah, yeah, I'm definitely open. I'm definitely feeling the collective love between us all, between your guides and my guides,
Yeah, the immensity
and
of it, right?
what they have. Yeah, yeah, the import of it.
The import
It
of it.
really, it yeah, yeah. They're really feeling good about what the work that we're doing.
Me too.
And,
Me too. I think
yeah,
right now you're open. You're the one who's open right now. So you're feeling it bigger than I am right now because your heart space is expanded at this moment. Your
yeah,
heart
and
space.
it could be because of the it could I'm my body's clean. My
Mm-hmm.
body is clean of food, so um I'm not so it couldn't that the spiritual experience that what I'm experiencing is big because of that, maybe.
Yes, right. And fasting is one of the tools in the toolbox of spiritual support for sure.
Yeah. And I did not expect that. It just happened to be that our our session was today. So
Yeah.
And it's in the deepest part of my fast.
Right.
I'll come out of it tomorrow evening.
Right. Right. Well, I'm honored. I'm honored to be in the presence of your channeling that
Thank
that
you.
immense love.
Yeah. Oh.
Oh, very cool. So, shall we close for the evening, Valerie?
Yeah, I think I'm going to go do a violet light meditation
Mm, mm.
because I've
For
been
our
working
listeners,
on that one.
do you want to tell just a little bit before because we're still recording, you want to tell just a little
Oh,
bit about what that is?
of what a violet light meditation is?
Hmm.
Well, violet light is a combination of pink and blue light, and it represents the I am, um, which is source and divine love. And it is um, the person most closely associated with this divine light is Saint Germain.
Hmm.
And uh, he had many incarnations on Earth. I'm sure he must have had some incarnations as a female too, although I've only read about the males.
Hmm.
And he is now an ascended master,
Hmm.
and which means he no longer will incarnate. So he comes through to people to channel, and so I have a few meditations that I got off of YouTube that I follow, and mainly they're about allowing yourself to. You can use the violet light to clean your chakra,
Hmm.
and then also to transmute fear and anything that negative that you thoughts that you have about other people or situations in your life, to transmute those into love.
Hmm.
And when you transmute things into love, you have a different perspective. You
Hmm.
have um, a way of stepping away from the situation and seeing your humanness. And so I like to do these short little 15-20 minute, maybe I'll do a 30-minute channel today, not channel, but meditation today, where it just goes in. You use the violet light to breathe it in through top of your head down in through each chakra,
Hmm.
and then you think about the ideas that you have that are negative, and you send that violet light towards that to transmute it, change it, and make you feel better. Ooh, I'm getting chills.
In that same place that you get them.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That truth recognition place.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
someday I hope to work with Saint Germain in some way. Um,
You mean more
I
than you
actually
already are? Like
more
you,
than I am, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I have a meeting with a another uh spiritual person channel who channels Saint Germain, Tara Arnold. And so I follow her, and I really connected with that healing message that he has.
Hmm.
And I have a meeting in May to talk to him about how to incorporate this more into my life.
Beautiful.
So hopefully you'll hear from him through me maybe someday.
Yeah. Yeah. I believe that will happen.
Yeah. Yeah, I hope
Wow,
so.
Valerie. Well, thank you. Thank you so much. Have a blessed rest of your evening. And this was really wonderful. Thank you so much. So much love to you. So much love to everybody who is joining this experience with us. And
Yes, thank you.
yeah, you're welcome.
Thank you for joining us. We're glad you're here, and we hope you stick around.
Like, comment, subscribe, ring the bell, and react. React. Suggest other topics and join the conversation.
Yeah.